discuss about that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students, that in previous classes I had discussed about that of herbarium and botanical garden. You know that in order to prepare herbarium seed, there is an international system set of rules of classification, and that's according to international set rules of classification, and that is based on that is Bentham and Hooker. I had told you that Bentham and Hooker. Bentham and Hooker, and that size of that of herbarium seed. Have you remembered that that size of the herbarium seed?
Yes, sir. 41 to 29.
That is
41 to 29.
yes, that is 41. That is 41 to 29 centimeters square. And if you have to convert into inches, what I had told you on that day. You have not remembered so far, but now you are forgetting. Okay, that is 16.5 into 11.5 in squares. I have told you on that day that that is herbarium seed, and herbarium seed is mainly for that of repository purposes, that is storing purposes, for quick reference. For quick reference about any species, you can have to see that of herbarium seed, and that plural of herbarium is herbaria, where that of specimens are kept. And I had told you that that Professor Lusagini, I had told you that he had prepared the first herbarium, and botanical gardens. I had told you on that day, botanical gardens, that it houses a herbarium, it houses a laboratory, it houses library, and it also houses a museums. You can get in botanical gardens. In botanical gardens, you can get a herbariums, you can get a you can get a museum, you can get a library, and you can get a laboratory also. And it is for research purposes, it is for that of study purposes, it is for also it is for the that is recreation purposes. It serves many purposes. It is for that of living species reference, the plant species reference purposes, and for that of study purposes, for that of research purposes, and for recreation purposes. And botanical gardens also have that of houses that local that is local flora, and it also houses the local breeds, as well as it also the protect the exceed conservations of germ plasma, as well as exotic and endemic species. And you can have to get in botanical gardens some endemic species as well as some exotic species. And in museums, and I have told you that that is Theophatus first of all started the botanical gardens. And about the museums, I had told you that that is that some plants and animal specimens are kept for reference, for study and reference purposes, and the museums, and also that of dead animals and dead birds, and as well as for dead some dead creatures, and there is a system of that they are stopped in the sense means they have given the skin of, suppose there is a tiger, and you have to make a tiger. That means you have to taking some materials, by using some materials you have to what you have to make a tiger. But if you have to make it lively, what you have to do? You have to cover the skin of that of tiger. If you have to cover the upper part of that structure with a lively tiger skins, that means it will be look very lively. Actually, all such what you will have to see, they are animals, they are all dead, but they are covered with that parts of the skins, and it will look very vividly and very alive, and so that you can have to. And suppose there are stop heads also, because stop heads are given and in a bamboo or in sticks, they are put on the upper part. It is for that of reference and for study purposes, and you have to gain about that knowledge and about that of creatures which are surrounding us, or some creatures you are not acquainted with, And there also you see different types of fauna, different types of flora in their dead existence, and there are no lively, there is nothing is lively in museums, all are dead, but they have given some sorts of lively type of condition, but actually they are dead in order to gain knowledge about that particular plant or animal species. Now I'm going to discuss about that of zoological parks. Today you will have to start with that of zoological parks. First, you have to write down that of zoological parks. Zoological parks are the places. Zoological parks are the places. It is very important that you have to remember zoological parks are the places where wild animals are kept. Zoological parks. I'm just discussing about that of zoological parks. Zoological parks are the places where wild animals are kept in protected environment. Where that is wild animals are kept in protected environment. In protected environment under human care. Human care. It is very important. Zoological parks are places where wild animals are kept in protected environment under human care. In the past, if you have to see that of zoological parks, you have to gain knowledge. They were kept in cages. They were kept in cages, and there were no such environment under human care. There only for their same purposes. And nowadays you are keeping animals in zoo basically for the study purposes. Recreation is there, but basically for study purposes about their foods, about their nature, about their habitats, and you are also creating habitats similar to that of natural habitats. You are keeping such animals in such habitats where basically similar to their natural habitats. You are now giving more stress how to keep animals in such an environment that they will feel as if they are living in their natural habitats. And going to that region, you are creating such type of condition in almost all zoological parks. And the first zoological park before independence, it was set up, it was founded, it was established in Chennai, that is Madras earlier name. And after independence in 1959, first zoological park started in New Delhi. And you know that Nandankanan Zoo in Odisha, and it was started in 1960. It was started, that means what started for zoo in 1960 and it opened for public purposes in 1979. 19 years. A long 19 years, a long duration of 19 years it took for the construction of zoological parks and in Odisha, and that is 19 years. It started in 1960 and it opened to public in 1979. That you have to remember. And Nandankanan Zoo is a large zoo, and zoos are of several kinds. That is, zoological parks are of several kinds. Some are large, some are medium, some are small, and some are tiny, very small. So these are the large, medium, small, and tiny. And that large, you have basically know about that of large. There are 300 zoological parks in our country. And most of the zoological parks are of large size. And you see that in Nandankanan, and in order to make a zoo, the large ones, there is some characteristics. It must have to possess. That characteristics is that it would be of that of 75 hectares. A zoological parks, in order to be a larger one, should have to spread in 75 hectares, and annual visitors must be more than 7.5 lakhs. 7.5 lakhs. that must have to possess 75 hectares and 7.5 lakhs. And that Nandankanan Zoo in Odisha, that is 437 hectares. Imagine that. The criteria for larger zoo, that means the larger zoo is that 75 hectares. But Nandankanan Zoo has been started in 437 hectares. And annual visitors is more than 10 lakhs. Annual visitors to Nandankanan Zoo is more than 10 lakhs, and it is spread in 437 hectares, where the criteria for is 75 hectares. So Nandankanan Zoo is a large zoo, and it covers 437 hectares, and annual visitors is exceeding to the criteria of 7.5 lakhs. And now the 10 lakhs, going to that of COVID-19, that 2020 and 21, that numbers might be less, but that annual, but if you have to take it average basis, that is 10 lakh visitors visiting to that zoo every year. Okay, so that, and another you see that what is that of scientific purpose of the zoo? What is the scientific purpose of the zoo? The scientific purpose of the zoo is to breed. This it is very important that you must have to write and remember. The scientific purpose of the zoo is to breed endangered species. It is very important. The scientific purpose of the zoo is to breed endangered species. Okay, is to breed endangered species in their captivity. So that is captive breeding. That is, it is develops that of captive breeding. Okay, that is captive breeding. So, so that the scientific purpose of the zoo is to breed endangered species in their captivity. That is captive breeding. What it develops? It develops the concept of captive breeding. That means inside the cells.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is captive breeding. That means it develops the concept of captive breeding, because in cells the animals that some endangered species are kept and they are started and try to captive breeding, so that that species will have to be what? The preserved and protected, given the protection to that of endangered species, showing to that region the captive breeding concept has been developed in zoo. It is very important that you have to remember. There are four purposes given. Out of the four purposes, one is that of captive breeding. So you have to make the tick mark for the captive breeding. It is very important. The scientific purpose of the zoo is to breed endangered species in their captivity. Other purposes are there, no doubt, but it is the scientific purpose of the zoo that you must have to remember. Okay, then come to that of that is serve as an ideal places. That zoological parks serve as an ideal places to study and learn different food habits. To study and learn different food habits. That means you are keeping them in parks, in zoological parks, in zoos, for to study and learn different food habits and the behavior of variety of animals and behavior of various species of animals. That you have to remember. That zoological parks serves to study and learn different food habits and behavior of various species of animals. You know that the study of behavior of animals is called ethology. Ethology. So it also gives importance to that of ethology. That means you know the different behavioral aspects of animals. So and in that of a wild place, if there will be in a remote deep forest, then how can you know about their food habits? How can you know about their behavior? So if you have to keep in a special containers, giving them that of natural habitats, obviously you have to know about their food habits and their behavior. So it is for that, and so that you can have to learn about them, our different species, what type of foods they eat, what types of behavior they show, how you have to behave them. So you know that. Even that means there are some animals also. They are so sociable. That means they also. That means they always obey the instruction of their guides, of their that means of their masters. So that it is owing to that regime of that of behaviors. And you are seeing that some animals showing the wild behaviors, their behaviors are very rough, and some animals are giving the social behaviors and they are very social. And owing to that region, that means you are studying them, you are studying their behavior, and you are learning, and you know that there are, you know that. That means how you have been made that of 17 lakhs to 18 lakhs. That means of that of 12 lakhs. You know that 12 lakhs animals, you have made them in just 6,000 families. 6,000 families. If 12 lakh species have been kept in 6,000 families, you imagine that how in taxonomy such process have made each year. There are 6,000 animal families. In 6,000 animal families, you have kept 12 lakh species. So 12 lakh species have been kept in 6,000, that is animal families. So it has made easy, because if you have to make such concept, and if you have to zoological parks, that taxonomical aids have made our study easy, and you are knowing better about them. What it was in past, it very difficult, because you did not know about their conditions, our living condition, about their habitat, about their foods, about their behaviors. You had no knowledge about them. But nowadays you have gained a massive knowledge. You have gained a vast knowledge about them. So it is a great and marvelous success in India alone. So that is the point that you have to remember. Then come to that, all animals in zoo, that is point, all animals in zoo, all animals in zoo are provided, all animals, that is all animals in zoos are provided conditions similar to natural ones. Provided conditions similar to their natural habitats. That means they have been provided conditions similar to their natural habitats. You now see that lions are being kept in lion safari, tigers are being kept in tiger safari, vast spaces, and elephants also are kept in such natural conditions, such habitat, natural conditions, because they will feel that they are exactly at their homes, and they will not feel alternate. They will not feel that they are different from others. So it is owing to that of natural habitat, that is conditions similar to their natural habitats. If you go to Nandankanan Zoo, in order to get the practical knowledge, you must have to observe and that how natural conditions are being provided to them. The different species have given the different natural conditions. What conditions suitable for them? So it is the point that all animals in zoos are provided conditions similar to their natural habitats. A zoo is called, and I have already told you that a zoo is called a larger one, and if it is that area is more than 75 acres, and annual visitor must be 7.5 lakhs. So Nandankanan Zoo, that is fulfilling all such criteria, so it is a large zoo. And because it is 437 hectares, that area it has covered, and annual visitors number is 10 lakhs. So that is about that of zoological parks. Okay. About that of zoological parks, and another thing that you have to remember that like botanical gardens, that is like botanical gardens, zoological parks also protect some endemic and exotic species. Endemic species, I had told that the biodiversity classes that certain species that develop in a particular area and not found elsewhere. That these are the endemic species. They are found in that particular habitat and not elsewhere. They are endemic species, and exotic species are foreign breed. And some of the foreign breed, because you see that in our zoos, that is what you are keeping. That of some of giraffes you are that is taking from that Africa, kangaroos you are from Australia. There are some exotic breeds, exotic species you are keeping because to gain knowledge about them, to gain knowledge about their, to study about them, to know about their food habits, about their habitats, about their behavior. All such things you are also protecting. That is some endemic and exotic species. That endemic exotic species of animals in zoological parks and in botanical gardens, endemic and exotic species of plants they are kept. So this is all about that of zoological parks. And only zoological parks questions comes that that is what is the scientific goal objective of that of zoological parks, and there are some that is I have told about their behavior, food habits, as well as like botanical gardens. They protect some of the endemic and the exotic species. That you have to remember. That is all about that. Of only simple questions are coming in examinations. Only that you can, if you have to know all such things that what I have discussed about, that's sufficient. That is enough for the next 20 years of NEET examination also, because they are not from very deep, they are not asking any question. Even the larger zoological parks have some criteria, those criteria 75 hectares and 7.5 lakhs visitors. That's such questions are not arising, they're not asking in the examination, but especially for you, because I am studying about that if I give some extra knowledge, that will be some way be benefit to you, and so that I had told 300 political parts. But such questions also not asking, only that of scientific purpose and some of the functions of that of zoological parks that are coming. That's enough with that of zoological parks. Now come to that of key. That is biological key or taxonomic key, is otherwise known as. So key you have to know about that. Key. You write down that key. And it is also called the taxonomic key or the biological key also. Okay, that is taxonomical or biological key, but you remember key is sufficient, that key. What is key now? You have to write down. Is used for identification of plants. Is used for identification of plants and then animals based on contrasting characters. Based on, that is, contrasting characters. You see that that is taxonomical or that is biological keys. That is key is used for identification of plants and animals based on contrasting character. Contrasting character in the sense that similarities and dissimilarities. That is contrasting character in the sense that that is similarities and dissimilarities. Okay, that is dissimilarities. That are some animals You see that how they will have to identify, how they will identification. Key is used for identification. Of that I have told that four basics of taxonomy that I have told. Classification, that is characterization. You know that? Can you tell students that four basics to taxonomy?
The classification.
So classification, identification.
Yes. But in a sequence you have to tell. You are not telling in sequence. First is characterization. First is characterization, then identification, then classification, and lastly nomenclature. I have told you it is very important for need point of view, and you have to remember that in a sequence. That is correct. You are telling that four basics to taxonomy. That is correct. But in a correct sequence, you have to remember in a sequence. You can remember forever. So that is sequence. That is I have told you. First is characterization, then identification, then classification, and the last one is nomenclature. You have to name them. So that is for identification, and the key is basically used for identification in taxonomy. That is key is used basically for identification of species, and that you remember that which type of species are identified. That is unknown species. There is no question of key used for known species. Keys are used for unknown species. Which species are, first of all, for the first times being identified. So in such case, that key are used. And in key, there is a similarity in order to which class, in order to which class that will to be named. Then there are certain similarities. Their limbs are not known limbs. They have wings or no wings. If they have force or no force, all such things. They have seen if similarity. So that is a yes or no way. That is yes or no way. So that is used for identification of plants and animals based on contrasting character. Contrasting character in the sense that similarities and dissimilarities. There means some characters similar and some are dissimilar. See, they will have to identify. Suppose a new species like a tiger is found in African jungle. Then what? A taxonomist. Suppose a taxonomist has gone there and a new species has been identified and been determined in a particular place. It is just looking like a tiger. So it will have to compare. So that key will be used because these are key is a what? Key is a that is a booklet. Key is a booklet. This booklet. This is a booklet. Key is not a key, lock and key that you are used in your house. Key is a booklet. What is key? Key is a booklet. In such booklet, there are some written documents. There are some written documents, and that written documents are written on the contrasting character, based on contrasting character, so that it is very easier. So the taxonomist gone there and that means identify it. They identify it, the various characteristics of tiger, that is Panthera tigris, and if it have to some way, to certain way, alike to that, there are some similar characters. If some similar characters are found, then proper identity. If some similar characters, if characterization has been done perfectly, then there is a good chance of a proper identification. If identification has been done properly, then there is a good chance of classification. If chance of classification has been done properly, then nomenclature is very easy. So this is the way, this is the process. So that then they will have to see that similar characters. If the characters and some characters similar to that of Panthera tigris, then that animals will come to that of genus Panthera and will give some names. Tigris given to tiger, that just like Panthera tigris, Panthera unca, Panthera pardus. I have told you that is Panthera unca for jaguar, Panthera pardus for that of leopard. Similarly, that name will be given. If that animal, that means there are no similar characters. The characters are not similar to that of newly discovered animal species. Then there are certain dissimilar characters. Then they will not come into that Panthera genus. They will give in to that of other genus, and they will classify differently. So that is a booklet because it has made in a written document that certain characteristics of animals and on contrasting basis, they will have to fulfill such characteristics, they will have to identify in a proper way. If they will not have to that it possess such similar characters, they will be in a different genus, go to different genus or go to that of different family, so that they will make. So it is used for identification of plants and animals based on contrasting character, that is similarities and dissimilarities. Keys a booklet. I am just telling about it that you have to write down the keys are based on contrasting. I have told you that keys are based on contrasting character generally in a pair called couplet. You have to write down that keys are generally in contrasting characters based on similarities and dissimilarities. Keys are generally in contrasting character, generally in a pair. That is generally in a pair called couplet. That you have to remember. Such word that is related to key. That is, keys are generally in contrasting character. Contrasting character I have told, generally in a pair. Pair in the sense similarities, dissimilarities called couplet. And each statement of a key is called a lead. That another word you have to remember. Each statement in a key is called lead. That is the word that you have to remember. Couplet and lead. There is a question. Couplet and lead are used in which of the taxonomic tools? That means key. Okay. That is, so keys are generally in contrasting character. Keys are generally in contrasting character. That is, keys are in contrasting character. Generally in contrasting character. Based on a pair, you have to write down. Generally, you have written double. That is based on pair. Based in a pair called couplet. That means those contrasting character in pair. Simply you can remember. Those contrasting character in pairs are called couplet. And each statement in a key is called a lead. Each statement in a couplet, that is in a key, is called lead. That you have to remember. One is couplet, that is contrasting characters in a pair called couplet, and each statement in a key is called lead. So couplet and lead are new terms that are related to key. Okay. Then that is key I have told. That is a key represents a choice between two contrasting characters. A key that is represents choice between two contrasting characters. That means two contrasting characters in the sense that there is some characters that are related to a particular species, and there are certain characters that not related to particular that species. So there is that related on that of contrasting basis. And that terms contrasting characters, similarities and dissimilarities for identifications of unknown species that are completely called as key. So this is the basic thing that you have to remember, that keys are biological key or taxonomic keys that are based on contrasting characters of similarities and dissimilarities for identification of new species, for identification of unknown species. Not species existed, for unknown species. Those species will in future, those species are every year, that is 15,000 species are being identified. It is using that of key. And that another thing is that you have to remember that each statement in a key is called lead. And that means in keys, that contrasting characters that in pairs are called couplets. And the keys are in analytical basis and in nature. They are, that is analytical in nature. That means on analysis basis. That means all these things have been described and analysis has been made. That is so keys are analytical in nature. That point you have to remember. And these are about that of key. And another key, that means I am and then booklet you have to remember that point. That is a good point. That booklet you have to remember. And there are two types of keys. That is one is oak, that is oak keys, and another type is bracketed keys. Bracketed key, but this is not in your that is course. And but for your good information, I'm just telling about that. That is, it is the two types. That is oak key, and another one is that of bracketed key. And in oak keys, that has been mentioned that in oak keys that you have to get it. Okay. Oak keys, that is oak keys provide sequence of choices between two or more statements. It gives that a sequence of choices, a sequence of choices in between two or more animals or species. Animals. Okay, and the keys are used both for that animals and the plant species. And so oak keys is a sequence of choices in between two or more species. And bracketed keys, is pairs of contrasting characters. That is pairs of contrasting characters. That means in the bracketed key, you will have to get pairs of constructing characters. And in oak keys, that is indented keys, also called a sequence of choices in between two or more species. So that is that keys are of two types. One is that of oak key, that is a sequence. In a oak key, what you will have to get? It is a booklet which contains a sequence of choices. What it contains? A sequence of choices in between two or more species. But in the bracketed key, a pairs of contrasting character. What I have given the definition about that of key, completely you have to given in that of a bracketed key. Okay, just like I am showing you an example of that of a bracketed key, so you have to get a knowledge about that. I'm just showing you for your information only that what will ask question in the NEET, and in your examination I have told about that lead, about that couplet, contrasting character, booklet, analytical in nature. That's sufficient. That's sufficient about, and it is a booklet which contains which is based on contrasting characters. For identification of unknown species, that you have to remember. You have to remember couplet, you have to remember lead, and analytical in nature. But for your that is good information and more information, obviously you have to in book, it has not written booklet, but you have to remember that he is a booklet. And I will tell about that Flora is a book, and handy books is that is manuals, and a treatise is a monographs, and a catalog or list is a list, or that is a register, that is catalog. I will tell you that is what now I am telling about that. How that means in a key you will have to see that you see that bat. You see that in bat. Can you identify that which type of classes it will go? That either it is a reptilia, it is a aves or bird, it is a mammalia, or it is that of a amphibious. Students, can you tell me to which class that bird belongs to?
Mammalia.
Mammalia. Very brilliant. That is bird is a mammalia because that is presence of mammary, that is mammary gland. That is, you see that presence of mammary. It has been written like that: presence of mammary, then pinnae and hairs and tails. Pinnae, hairs and tails. It has been written like this bat. Then come to that of after bat, that you see that cat. In cat, that is presence of mammary, hair, that is presence of mammary, that is hair, pinnae, and tails, then teeth. And to that of cat, after cat, you have to bird. You see that birds, because absence of presence of mamai or absence of mamai in
Sir,
in
absence of
birds.
mamai.
Yes, very good.
Absence
That
of
is
mamai.
absence. Yes, absence of mamai. Okay, mamai. Then you see that also absence of that of that is bird hair, teeth. Their absence, hair and teeth also that absent. But which are present? Which are present that are
Sir,
present?
bat.
That presence of big feathers. Yes, big feather. That is presence of big. Okay, that is feathers. These are presents. Big feather, presence of big feathers, and that of that is wings and wings. Presence of big feathers and wings. These are present. That is in birds. Absence mammai. That is hair, teeth, but presence of big. In contrasting way, you see that how in contrasting way that you have to make contrast to that of bat and birds. Generally, those who have no biological knowledge or any those ignorant, they will have not understand it is bat is a mammal or a bat is a bird. They will have been different because they are flying, so they will think in otherwise. But in the biological sense, in kids, it has been written like this: bat presence of mammae, pinna hairstyles, but birds absence of mammae hair teeth, but presence of big feathers and wings. And similarly, that of frog. Frog that is also absence of mamai. That means in written like this, that is absence of mamai, and that of pinnae, gills, and fins and scales. That is for frog. For frogs, that we have been like this, absence of that is absence of mamai, and that of hairs, fins. Also, things are absent in that of a frog. And what are present in frogs? That means the presence of leaves. That is presence of leaves. Presence of leaves. So, in contrasting way, it has been written like this. And in fish, that is fish also. That is absence of mamai. That is absence of mamai. Then it is also written that absence of mamai, leaves, pinnae, that is leaves, pinnae, and but presence of what are present? That presence of gills and scales. That has written that presence of gills and scales. These are present. So, like this way, in each description has been made. So, each line is called a lead, and that contrasting base is called couplet. And analytical in nature because it has been analyzed in correct sequence. So, these are the basic thing that you have to remember. He is a booklet which is based on the contrasting character for the identification of unknown plant and animal species. And that contrasting character that have been given in a pair called couplet, and each sentence in a key is called lead, and it is analytical in nature. You have to remember this one: contrasting character, identification of species. It is enough that you have to answer any question asked about that key. Then you have to come to that of now we'll have to discuss means of recording description. That are means of recording descriptions. Are you understanding, students?
Yes, sir.
Students,
sir.
are you understanding clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then comes that is means of recording descriptions. Means of recording descriptions. We'll have to discuss one after another. That is plural. Then we'll have to go to that of manuals, then monographs, and that of catalog. I'm just telling you that Torah is a book for that is table, arranged tables, and question asked A key is a booklet, flora is a book, manuals is a handy books. Handy books, you know that small books which are kept in pocket for reference, that is called handy books, very small books. And the monographs, that is treatise. Treatise, that is written documents for reference. And that catalogs, that is catalogs is a list or a register. Or a register. That you have to remember, because on a table, question generally asks, flora is a book, manual, when there is a matching, match the tables, then flora is a book, manual is a handy books, monograph is a treatise, catalog is a list or register. Now we'll have to discuss what is flora. Okay, you see that flora is a book containing information. What is flora? Flora is a book
About plants.
So I will supply you notes. Are you getting notes at the end of each class?
Yes, sir.
Students?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anyone has not got that of my notes? All have got? Some students are not responding. Okay. That you see that flora. Flora, I am just telling you that flora is a book. What flora contains? You see that flora is a book contains information about plants. Information about plants. Information about plants of a particular habitat. Okay, particular habitat. Okay, habitat. Only the information about that of plant species. Flora, you know that. Flora is obviously name of plants. That means, so it is a book which gives information about plants of a particular habitat. That's to be remembered, particular habitats, and it gives actual account of habitat. What it gives actual accounts of habitat. It gives actual account of a habitat and also the plant species found in that area. What are the, that means number of plant species found in that particular area, in that habitat, in that particular habitat. Suppose I will cite the examples of flora Bhubaneswar or flora of Mayurbhanj or flora of even come to that smaller place like of Similipal. That means all names of all the species have been named. That means of that particular habitat and given some sort of information about them, new things about them. So that is the flora. Flora is a book which gives information about plants of a particular habitat. That means it is given the detailed reference about that habitat, detailed information of that habitat and that species, plant species that such habitat possesses. It is a particular habitat of one habitat. One habitat for one habitat, there is a one flora. There is a book, Flora Bhubaneswar. But who is reading? That is why there is a time that you will have to read such book. But there is a book, Flora of Delhi. There is a book, Flora of Delhi, in that is in British times that has been written in that period. And so that Flora Bhubaneswar also, Flora Talcher also, Flora Baleshwar also, because there is in every divisional office of that district forest office will have to get the books of that because it has already been written and mentioned the all types of plant species found in that district or in that particular area. If it is Similipal or it is that of Bhitarkanika, then it has some geographical as well as natural importance it possesses. So that is flora of Bhitarkanika, flora of Similipal, flora of Chandaka, that is flora of Ushakoti. Like this, there are certain places which bear that most biodiversity importance. So that means it has flora has been written for that particular place, or district wise, or state wise, country wise also it has been written. So that is flora. That book, that is a book, gives information about plants of a particular habitat and plants, different plant species, even local plant species, exotic plants, endemic, local or exotic plant species, whatever plant species is there, gives information. That flora gives us information about that. Then come to that of a manual. So understand what is flora? Flora is a book which gives information about plants of a particular habitat. It gives the list of the plants that in a particular habitat and about some certain information about them. That is flora. Then come to that of manuals. That is manuals is a handy books. I have told you that the manuals are useful in handy books containing. That is handy books. That is handy books containing information. That is handy books containing information for identification of names found in area. Manuals are handy books contains information, contains what it contains? It contains information, contains information for identification of species for identification of species found in an area. Manuals are handy books containing information for identification of species found in an area. Flora contains the exact, that means what are the species are found in that. But manuals are handy book contain information for identification. How you have to, how such species have been identified or in future to be identified, then that information are present in manuals. That handy books containing information for identification of species found in a particular area. That information we will have to get in manuals. And then come to that monographs. And manuals are sufficient. Handy books you have to remember. You have to remember the contents information for identification of species of a particular area. That's enough with the manuals. Then come to that mono. From mono you have known that is a single species. Monographs, that is single species. It is a treatise. I have already told you that monographs is a what? Monographs is a treatise, and what it contains? It contains information containing information of any one taxon. Information, that is information of one taxon. That mono you have from the word mono, that is singular, so single. So it contains, it is a treatise which gives us information of one taxon. Information of one taxon we will have to get in monographs of plants or animals. Of one taxon of plants or animals. Okay, that is information of one taxon, monograph about one particular plant species or animal species. You will have to give information that in monographs. In flora, that is plant species. In that is manuals, you will have to get data from that is plant species as well as of animal species for details of all such species found in that particular area. But in monographs, for only one species. In manuals, many species. But in monographs, that is, it is a treatise which contains information of one taxon of plants or animals. That is important. Information of one taxon of plants and animals. That is one line information is sufficient for you, because such questions are generally asked on a table basis. That is column. That is match the column. So that is monographs. Monographs contains, monograph is a treatise. It contains information of one taxon of a plants and animals. From mono itself, you know that it is details about one taxon. About one taxon. That is mono. Then come to that of catalogs. Catalogs, I am telling you that is a register. What is catalog? Catalog is a register or list which contains alphabetically. That means a register that gives alphabetical arrangement. That is catalog. That is catalog. Catalog is a register or list. Okay, it is a register or list which gives. It is a register that gives alphabetical arrangement. That is alphabetical arrangement. Okay, that is alphabetical arrangement. A, B, C, D like this. A, B, C, D like this. That plants are, that is animal species comes in that of A, first letter A, which one is first letter B, which one is first letter C, which one first letter D, like this. That means in alphabetical arrangement. So what is catalog? Catalog is a register or list, that gives alphabetical arrangement of species. Alphabetical arrangement of species of a particular area. Okay, of a particular area. Okay, species of particular area describing their features. That is important. Describing their features. So feature descriptions are also maintained in that is in catalog. In catalog, it is a register or list, alphabetical arrangement of species of particular area, and description with description of their features. That means features, that is description, features descriptions also maintained in that of catalog. So what is catalog? Catalog is a register or list, and in which alphabetical arrangement of species of a particular area has been maintained with description of their features. That is very important, that you have to remember. Okay, alphabetical arrangement of species of a particular area describing their features. That is catalog, and you will see that there is a red list. Have you heard the name of red list, students? Have you named that name of red list? Hello, students. You have not heard. Okay, that IUCN I have told. IUCN. Can you tell me that, expand that abbreviated form of IUCN?
Sir.
Students, please tell IUCN. That is International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, and it is headquarter. I had told you that you have not remembered anything. It has prepared a red list. IUCN has prepared a red list in which it has mentioned the extinct species, as well as endangered species, species which are on the verge of extinction. That is extinct species and endangered species. That is the red list. IUCN has prepared a red list. It is a catalog. What is red list? Red list is an example of catalog where it has mentioned extinct species. The number of extinct species, that is 784. How many species have been extinct that has been mentioned in the red list, students? That is
784.
Okay, and the endangered species more than 15,500. IUCN has prepared a catalog that is called red list, in which it has mentioned the name of extinct species. That number is 784, and it has also mentioned the names of endangered species which are on the verge of extinction in near future. Their number is more than 15,500. So red list has been prepared by IUCN, which has mentioned the numbers of extinct species. Number is 784, and a number of endangered species more than 15,500. What I have to mention here, red list, IUCN's red list, for information that red list is an example of a catalog. If question asks what is the status of red list in taxonomical aids, you have to mention that it is a catalog. Okay, then come to that of today's test. Student, you start writing which of the following taxonomic categories, then come to that of 5 MCQs. Okay. The first question I am asking you today, I expect that you will have to answer all the questions. We have to answer all the questions. Which of the following taxonomic categories? First questions. Which of the following taxonomic categories which of the following taxonomic categories have least similar characteristics? Has the least similar characteristics. Okay, your option A. A is that of family. B is that of genus. C is that of order. And D is that of class. Which of the following taxonomic categories have the least similar characteristics? A. Family. B. Genus. C. Order. D. Class.
Sir, class.
Hello, students.
Option,
Yes,
option D.
class is the right answer. You see that more similar character in genus, then little less similar character in family, then little less similar character in order, but class is the as the highest one, so that it has least similar characters. So least similar characteristics are found in class. Very good answer. Okay. Then come to that of question number 2. Which of the following statement is not correct? To write down that question, which of the following statement is not correct in relation to herbarium? Question number 2. Which of the following statements is not correct in relation to herbariums? In relation to herbariums, that you have to remember. Which of the following statements is not correct in relation to herbariums? I am giving you option. It is a quick source of reference. It is a quick source of reference. It is a quick source of reference. Option B, local and English name of species written along with the botanical names. Local and the English name of the species are found along with botanical names. Then come to option C. It is a storehouse of collected specimens of plants and animals. It is a storehouse of reference of dried plants and animals. Then question that the option B is that date of collection of specimen is mentioned in it. Date of collection of specimen mentioned on it.
Sir, option C.
Option
C.
Option C is right. Okay,
Yes, sir.
option C is right. You
Because-
see that it is a quick source of reference. I have told you on that day, if anything is not to first of all use that of herbarium.
Yes, sir.
Can see. So A is correct. Local and English name of the species are found along with that of botanical names. So it is also correct. Local name, English name, botanical names are given. And it is a storehouse of dried plants and animals. This animal is wrong. It is
Yes, sir.
basically for plants only. Okay. So option C is wrong. And the date of collection of specimen is mentioned on it. Okay. So answer C. So then come to that of question number 3. The correct sequence of steps of herbarium technique. The correct sequence of herbarium technique is the correct sequence of herbarium technique is. You have to write down collection, drying, mounting, labeling. Okay, labeling. Then labeling, you have to try labeling, stitching, then you have to poisoning, that is stitching, poisoning, and deposition. Okay, then collection, drying, then poisoning, then you have to mounting, then stitching, labeling, deposition. Then C, write down
What
that.
B is the correct option?
Sir, option B.
So B, you have told that answer. Very good, very brilliant. So I am not writing that. The last two I am not writing. Why I will spend time? You have understood properly. Many thanks to you. First of all, you have to make collection. Then you have to drying and poisoning. You have remembered that which type of poison given?
Again, that question.
That is mercury chloride. Mercury chloride. Okay. And then mounting, then stitching, then labeling and deposition. At the time of deposition, you knew that some of givens in order to shape that.
Yes, sir, DDT.
What herbarium sheet. Yes.
Sir,
very good.
DDT.
DDT and
DDT and
I had told another one.
silver.
You have remember now. You are forgetting that one. That is very sad things that you are being forgotten. Another
Sir,
one is that.
Sir, copper sulfate.
Yes, that is copper sulfate. Very brilliant. Very brilliant. And which type of insect? To shape from which type of insects?
Sir, silverfish.
Silverfish. Very brilliant. Very brilliant. Then come to that of question number 4. Okay. Then next come to that of question number 4. That is consider the following. That is in botanical gardens. You write down that in botanical gardens. That question number 4. In botanical garden. Okay, in botanical gardens, each plant is labeled. Each plant is labeled. Each plant is labeled, indicating it is scientific name. Indicating its scientific name. Scientific name and scientific name and you have to, that is genus,
It's family.
family,
Family.
Sir, family.
very good, order and class. So that is family. Only family name is mentioned. Whether to be Fabaceae family, Malvaceae family, Solanaceae family, or any of the family that to be mentioned and scientific name of the species. That's good. In botanical gardens, you have understood properly many times. And come to the last question. Consider the following statements. Consider, I will give you 4 statements of this, that 2 are correct, 2 are incorrect, you have to find out. Consider the following statement. Last question. Consider the following statement. Statements. Consider the following statement. Statements I. That plant species in botanical gardens are grown for reference and identification. Plant species grown in botanical gardens. In botanical gardens, plant species grown in botanical gardens are for reference and identification. Are for reference and identification. That is I. Then come to that of II. Museums are collection of preserved animals only. Museums of collection of preserved animals only. Then come to that of option that is 3. Larger animals are usually stopped. Larger animals are usually stopped and preserved. Then I say that Indian Botanical Garden is located in Lucknow. Indian Botanical Garden is located in Lucknow. From that, the correct statements, the answer is that the correct statements are okay. The correct statements are I and II, B, II and triple I, C, I and triple I, D, II and IB.
Sir, option C. Sir, option C.
Very good, very good.
C.
Very brilliant. So I'm just telling and discussing the question. Plant species grown in botanical gardens are for reference and identification. It is, you know that well. That is correct. It is correct. And the museums are collection of preserved animals only, not
Plants
preserved
also.
plants and animals. Okay, preserved plants and animals. Museums for animals and plants. So that is wrong. So larger animals are usually stopped and preserved. You know that. I have also take you that the process of stop is called taxidermy, where skins are just placed on that of materials for a tiger. Some materials are being decorated with a tiger's skins are covered with it, and it is looking like a leaf. So that is correct. And the Indian Botanical Garden is located in Howrah, that is Shibpur. Howrah, Shibpur. So it is a wrong. So correct answer is I and a triple I. So answer C is correct. Students, you have understood what questions I have asked today?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt have you?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, students, thank you. And I have finished the first chapter, that living world. And tomorrow onward, I will start a new chapter, that is biological classification. And you will have to get the immense knowledge about that biological classification. The 2 chapters finished means you have gained that of 10% of the knowledge of biology that you have gained. So that's you have to just read my notes and prepare. And in question, I'm very happy today. You have answered all the 5 questions. You have committed to your words. What commitment you have made on that day? You have finished it, crossed it, and so I'm very thankful to you. And you prepare for the tomorrow. I will ask you 5 questions also from that total of living world. 5 questions I will share covering from first to last, because I have already finished the first chapter. Thank you, students.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.